What is up, y'all? It's TC from the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get started, let me tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast just like ours. Let me explain to you. First of all, it is free. F-R-E-E. Free. They offer tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will even distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. Did I mention that it's free? You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Listen, it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Plus, it's free. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That is anchor.fm to get started on your free podcast. Happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast, episode 69. Nice. Featuring the Young Kings Wrestling Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on most platforms streaming podcasts, including Anchor, iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and iHeartRadio. You're probably using one of those right now. So I don't know why I say that, because you're probably using one of those to listen to the show already. But if you're listening on iTunes, go ahead and leave us a review. Links to all the platforms are available at ykwrestling.com. It's been an unusual year, a very unusual year for the industry. Listen, man, they still managed to flourish and adapt to the times. We had empty arenas. We had the Thunderdome, so we adapting out here. But which talent and moments of 2020 stood out amongst their respective counterparts? We will decide that and more here today with the 2020 Young Kings Wrestling Year-End Awards. I am your host, TC Fontaine, joined by the essential Wreak Havoc and Mr. 24/7 Malik Ricks. What's good with y'all, man?
What's up, gang?
That's a fire intro. I didn't even know you had that. That's what's up.
Hey, you're talking about got to step our game up. People talking about we got to step our game up because other shows had better award shows.
Oh, I wasn't even worried about that.
Hey, I wanted to listen. I wanted to listen to it, and I was like, yeah, it's cool. Our show gonna be better still,
Well, unfortunately, I don't listen to other wrestling podcasts, so I don't listen to our show, so
we know. You barely be on our show.
Yeah, my bad. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, we ain't never worried about it because we know what we do, and we got.
Hey, hold on.
So
probably one of the best things that I did this year, because you know what I'm saying. One of my creative moves I did for the show this year was bring my man Reek. I brought him on the show, made him an official member. So I had to do that, man. Shout out to my brother.
Hey,
bang, 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 bang.
No
bang,
doubt.
Bang.
I appreciate y'all. Real talk. This been real. You know what I'm saying?
So are we gonna add one more person on next year?
I mean, I got some ideas. It's some free agents out there I'm looking at in the scene. See if they want to come on board. If not, it's cool.
Yes,
how Malik get busy, so me and Reek can hold it down.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. I get busy
if necessary.
You know what I mean?
We can bring in somebody.
Yeah.
There's plenty of folks out here, man. We trying to, me and Malik, we got big things coming next year. Hopefully, this COVID stuff clear up. We're gonna be working with some promotions a little bit more. We've been working with promotions, but we looking to work with some promotions a little bit more.
Yes.
So let's be on the lookout for that, man.
Reek
It's
definitely has to make a trip out here.
facts,
Definitely.
Oh, of course.
definitely.
Listen. Once April comes, we'll be out there anyway. So y'all already know.
Go have a live
time.
show. Go have a live show with everybody in the room. You gotta have that.
Facts, big facts,
Sir.
man. Hey yo, y'all been watching wrestling? I know Malik said he ain't been watching anything, but
I
y'all
ain't
been
been watching
watching any
shit.
wrestling since our last show?
Honestly, outside of just the weekly shows, nah.
Same. Hey, Reek, I finally did it. I finally started The Mandalorian. And I watched the first season. I finished the first season last night. So I'm about to start the second season tonight.
Tell you,
I
bro.
finally did it.
The show is fire, bro.
I was waiting for it to end. Nobody told me my guy Bill Burr was on the show.
Oh yeah, he in the second season too.
And I knew Giancarlo Esposito was on there.
Yeah.
But I found out he been on some bully shit in the second season. So I'm about to watch it.
Yo, man.
And Sasha, of course, you know.
Yo, I'm telling you, Sasha in that finale, bro. Like you could be a Star Wars and a wrestling fan, either one. That ending is gonna pop you.
You know, my favorite thing about wrestlers being on like television shows or movies is when they do wrestling moves.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit. Cause it's just like only wrestling fans, it's just like a nod to wrestling fans. Like, hey,
I'm telling you, bro, like it was so crazy because her and Boba Fett, they get into that fight in the finale, and it's like, nah, ain't no way. Cause you know, if you watch Star Wars, you know Boba Fett is like legend. And it's like Sasha is, you know, one of the like the old school Death was it Death Squad or something like that from Clone Wars. And I'm like, okay, all right, she might put up a good fight, but ain't nothing crazy. And then you just see her just grab this nigga, run off the wall and hit a DDT. I was like, what?
ooh,
Y'all niggas wild.
she had a
Let's go.
tornado DDT.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all niggas wild. Oh man.
Hey, I might have to watch the whole second season tonight. I might do it.
Speaking of TV shows, man, Leo Rush is the reason why I'm watching the challenge.
On the challenge.
Yeah. It was really good back in the day, but like, you know, they got to the extra stuff. I stopped watching it. So, but this season's pretty good. I'm still waiting for him to do some wrestling like stuff, but he chilling. It's only like 3 episodes, so we'll see.
Is that like a derivative of the Real World?
Yeah, but it's like it started out as that, like something of like, you know, the Real World, and they bring them on the show and they do like real like challenges and stuff. But like now it's like a real thing where people train for. They got people from the Olympics on there with like reality show people and all that stuff. So it's a solid show, man.
Okay.
That's what's up.
And we got to recognize a Real World legend, The Miz. Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
Big
I think he was on one of the seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
He
I think he might have won the challenge. Hold on. Let me Google that. Y'all keep talking.
Malik Reali. That's my job.
I'm about to say.
So while he's searching that, let me go ahead and introduce, man. We got a few categories here we're gonna get through. You know, your typical award show. You know, we got Wrestler of the Year, you know, men and women, best match, best tag team, best takeover, best wrestling moment of the year, best promo, you know, most improved, who was the breakout star. And I think Malik got his answer.
Yes, he won the challenge twice.
Okay.
What hasn't this man The Miz done? Like, what hasn't he done?
The Grand Slam champion, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time in WWE history. He married Maurice.
Plus 2 babies.
He main evented WrestleMania and won against John Cena with help from The Rock. That's legendary.
Shout out to The Miz.
Future Young King's Throne. I will always be a fan of the Miz.
Yeah.
Mr. USA Network.
I really thought he was gonna win the title at TLC.
Don't get me started.
Well, I'm telling you, they created that suspense like that. It was real edge of your seat type shit. I was feeling that.
Yeah, I ain't felt no energy like that in a while.
And I couldn't have been mad either way.
This whole Money in the Bank year for me, I'm gonna just forget. So
They ruined it. They need to put it back on Mania. They need to.
Facts. As we said, as we discussed,
makes sense
on our last episode. Go ahead, check that out if you have not heard it yet. And if you haven't heard it yet, why not? Finish this episode out and go check it out.
You better with your life.
Facts.
Yeah.
Let's get into these awards, man. We're gonna start it off. You know, I wish we had some presenters. You know, I might have to call some people up real quick and see if they can come and present these awards for us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of late.
I was like, where are you going with this? I thought someone's gonna pop up on a Zoom call like, hey guys, what's up? Like, okay.
I get the ghost of Dusty Rhodes come on here. You know, we're gonna get the most of the best promo of the year, baby. That was fire, right?
You got it. You got it down.
Bet.
What Reek said.
Bet. Hey, let's start off with our first award, man. The 2020 Breakout Star. And I think I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna just go first, and y'all can go whoever want to go after me. So I'm gonna say my Breakout Star for the year. I had to choose. It was a tough decision because I was thinking initially Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, just because she had this fire promo in like the first or second episode of Dynamite of the year, and she just took it and ran with it. But her momentum was halted, and so she wasn't able to really overcome that until later on this year. So she's out. Also, you know, was thinking Shotzi Blackheart, maybe Pat McAfee. I'm gonna go with Jay Uso, man. Like, this dude just kind of was treading water once his brother got hurt. He just came out of nowhere. He just been putting on bangers on television and on pay-per-view. Main evented a couple pay-per-views, did a Hell in a Cell. Part of the best story going in wrestling right now. So that's my Breakout Star of the year.
I'm not mad with that, man. You know, I've always been a Uso fan. Love them guys. But my Breakout Star of the year is different. Amazing list, by the way, TC. This is an amazing list. Like, I wouldn't be mad at none of these guys or ladies winning this award, but I'm going with my man Darby Allin. I mean, I'm just, for somebody who don't talk and he can still be entertaining and relevant, put on great matches. You know, I'm always here for that. You know, I'm the match guy. Love promos, love everything else. That's cool. But without a great match, what is it? That's nothing. Nathaniel. Darby Allin did that for me. So has Jay. Chris Bay. Can't forget that. But
it was on my list.
Darby Allin is my guy for this year.
Woo. Well, I'm gonna be sort of the oddball in this one because I'm going with Shotzi.
I knew that. Dakota, he hates you, but Shotzi is his new boo.
Stop it. I always got a special place for Dakota. But the thing was, you know, going into this year, it was like the big thing that caught my attention was the gimmick, Tank and the helmet and the whole like the persona that she had. But I think like a lot of people thought that's all it was with her. It's just going to be like, okay, you can come out with the Tank and that's going to entertain everybody. But then she came out and started having these great matches. You know what I'm saying? With Dakota Kai, Raquel. I think she had a match with Tony a couple weeks ago. And then of course the one that really did it for me was her versus Io Shirai, the women's champion. I mean, then capping it off this year with War Games. They lost the match, but she showed out just like the rest of the crew in there. And so, I mean, this was a big year. At the end of the day, she showed she's more than a gimmick, and she can be a big star for them. Like I know they wanted her to be, but I mean, I think it really exceeded expectations for the year.
Hey, my new saying is if they allow it. She
Yeah.
could be a great star if they allow it.
Right.
I agree. Moving on, man. Most improved wrestler of the year. This one I kind of spoiled it a few weeks ago. Raquel Gonzalez. That's my most improved. Like it's clear as day. If you watch her matches earlier this year and just watch how she did her thing in the War Games. I kind of drawing a blank on who she faced before War Games. Was it Rhea?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah,
Rhea. Was it? Okay. Yeah, that match was amazing. She's clear as day, just showing who she is, and I think next year she's going to improve even more.
I'm the same. I'm definitely Raquel. I mean, the end of the year definitely put the exclamation point on it because it kind of had that Diesel Shawn Michaels kind of vibe to it with her and Dakota. So you saw a lot early on. You saw a lot more of her just kind of being the heavy, but now as we come down the stretch, coming to the close of the year, she really stood out. And War Games again was the real that let you know like okay, this is going to be it for her.
She's overstepped Dakota already. Like she was just Dakota's like heater for the most part.
Exactly.
Yeah, remember I was upset
now
about
Dakota barely get on television.
Yeah, I was upset about that too. I was like, that's all. But like, she has really killed that role.
Yeah, like she tore it down with Rhea in the steel cage, and then pinning Io in the War Games match after that crazy ass spot. I mean,
Do you think Rhea being there helped her a lot?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
for sure.
That was her showcase. So I mean, easily, and no knock on Chris Bay because that's the other option here, but
that was my other option.
That's who I was paying the most attention to this year.
Yeah.
What about you, Malik?
Honestly, the person who I would say most improved is not even on our two people of the list.
Oh, they don't gotta be on the list.
Oh, it's a person who really didn't need improvement. He just needed something different. He was stale for a long time, and that is Mr. Seth Rollins. Seth was stale for these past few years. After he went face, he was cool. He was put on good matches, like I say. But eventually it was just like that's Seth, like whatever. Then once he did the Monday Night Messiah thing, and I think this pandemic he has helped a lot with it, and so I would give it to Seth, most improved.
And he was tearing it down with rookies.
Yeah, yeah. Dominic, he brought Dominic in and made him legit. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Facts, man. This next award, it was a bunch of guys and gals that really, showed what they could do in 2020, but they weren't really able to take it to that next level. Who is going to take it to that next level in 2021? My choice, I picked Ricky Starks. I've enjoyed what he's been doing so far on AEW, but I think the Team Taz stuff is kind of bogging him down a little bit for now. So once he gets away from that at whatever point next year, hopefully early, sooner than later, he's really just going to bloom and flower greater than anybody else in that company will. Facts.
Yeah.
It's real simple. I'm going with Bianca because how can she not?
That was my second choice.
And I was just thinking about this the other day. This is what the SmackDown Women's roster consists of: Sasha, Bayley, Billie Kay, Natalya, Tamina, Ruby and Liv, the Riot Squad,
Mella.
Outside, and Mella. That's what her competition is. Sasha is the champ. Bayley is the next biggest star. Mella has, a new gimmick. Billy Kay doesn't get enough TV time. The Riot Squad nobody gives a damn about. I don't want to see Natalya on TV.
Push Billy Kay, damn it.
And Tamina just they dropped the ball with her so many years ago. So Bianca has no choice but to rise.
Can I say something about Tamina real quick? So Tamina had a match on SmackDown Friday. You know, the little graphic that come up and they show like the accomplishments. You know, to be a former four-time WWE champion or some shit like that. You know what Tamina said?
Dust.
Daughter of Hall of Famer Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Get out of here,
of
bro.
2 children.
Get out of here. No, it did not.
Her being a mother was a major accomplishment in her career.
Which is? That's a major accomplishment for
She's
everybody.
been in the company 10 years. She did nothing else.
I'm more stuck on they still mentioning Jimmy Snuka.
I was shocked too.
So.
But I mean, just that didn't stand out to me more than her being a mother.
Like, no, I mean that's a life accomplishment. That's not a wrestling accomplishment.
Exactly.
Like,
but she has no wrestling accomplishments.
Right. This is what I mean. They dropped the ball on her so many years ago. Like it kind of gets me tight. Because I was
a little mad. I was like, damn.
Granted, I understand.
You had to put something, I guess.
She's had injury issues over the years, so that's really been a big part of it. But it's like when she was good to go, especially when this roster expanded the way it has. How did you not find no time for? She's part of the family. Come on, son.
I'm upset.
They mentioned Jimmy Snuka.
See, Roman got to do better. If he the head of the table, he got to do right by his family. Like, she got to get more time than this. Thanks. But back to my point here, because that's what she has to work with. Bianca has no choice but to get into the upper echelon by early next year, because it's not like she has a lot that she has to go through. There's Sasha, Bayley, and maybe Carmella, but she gonna be right up in there with that group of them, because the rest of them, we're not even having the same conversation, especially not with the upside. The rest of them pretty much hit their peaks.
Malik, who you got?
This is another if they allow it moment. Mr. Kyle O'Reilly. This guy has crazy, because remember when this whole thing first started, I told you we were all watching a lot of wrestling. I got the Honor Club, I got the Impact, whatever. So going back watching Honor Club, like, you know, Ring of Honor, old pay-per-views, I never knew Kyle O'Reilly was the champ. And him and Adam Cole had a whole thing and everything. And I was like, these matches are really good. Like, Kyle O'Reilly can really do this. Like, I hope they don't just use him as a tag team wrestler. And then, you know, for the past few months, he's been coming on. He had his shot. You know, he broke Finn's jaw. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been putting on great matches. Him and Pete Dunne, all that. And he's getting another shot. So, I mean, honestly, if they allow it, hopefully when they go to the main roster, whatever, he still can keep this up. Mr. Kyle O'Reilly and another one, Keith Lee.
You got war one of them.
I'm sorry. It's hard. It's hard to do that. Kyle O'Reilly, Keith Lee, but they're both
Kyle O'Reilly. We'll say Kyle O'Reilly.
I would say
if they allow it.
Yeah, right. But I would say if they allow it with Keith, because you know it's been so much that they can't. Vince can't figure out how to translate for Keith Lee. Keith Lee was doing his thing on NXT, and they know what he could do. But Vince wanted to try and mold him into his image of what a big guy's supposed to be in wrestling.
Keith Lee just main evented Monday Night Raw and won. Right. He But he got the pin. Like, he got the pin in the match.
They got to fix that. I say that because
it's okay, but he's not who we know.
Right.
Who we want to see. Like, that's okay. You can get the wins and all that stuff. Remember, Roman won for a long time, and we didn't care about him. It's once you turn him into something that, man, we liked it. One thing about
really different about Keith Lee right now.
One thing about Keith Lee
besides his music and the little
everything they have him. Everything they have him doing is just not him.
It's not his ring style anymore.
Like, how can he?
I don't see a difference. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. That spinning heel kick he tried in the match versus Miz and Morrison, he's probably not do that again. But
no, he gonna pull a hammy.
I don't notice a difference in his ring style at all.
He takes a lot more offense than he used to. Like, he used to be dominant when he was in his matches. He used to have the upper hand a lot more. He's taken a lot more offense than he's given. That's not something we used to see from Keith Lee. And then, he's working with a lot of different people, so I understand that. But it's just there was a certain level of confidence we used to see when Keith Lee showed up, and we haven't seen the same that same level of it since he's been on the main roster.
Pretty much freedom.
We thought it was going to be better when he got his music back, because then you saw him walk into the ring with a little more swagger again. But it's like I don't know. I don't see that same. I don't know what the word is for it. I don't see that same. It's not the same fire that we was getting from.
Like I said, I feel like it's the freedom part where
Yeah.
you see when he was on in other promotions where he, you could do whatever. You can't miss a step. Now it's like, well, damn, if I do one wrong thing, if I slip up, just like every other wrestler that has left this company said, well, that could be my last.
Mm-hmm.
To me, for a wrestler, you shouldn't feel like that, because that's what kind of breaks you away from your character. And who, especially these, like the indie guys now, like when these guys from other promotions and everywhere else, like, this is a character we know. I don't want a character to come from Impact to WWE and become someone different. I just don't. I wish all the guys could keep their same names, their same music. I know it's a business, you can't do that. But me personally, I want to see the same person, because when like I'm gonna use Abyss for example. When they were talking about Abyss coming over to wrestle Taker, I'd have been like, great, like let's see that happen. I wouldn't want Abyss to come over and then become Joseph Parker in a sense. You know what I mean? And so that's what we see with a lot of guys, where it's like you don't have your swagger, you don't have the reason why the matches aren't hitting, because it's something in the back of your head. So, but yeah, once again,
That's something we could change in 2021.
That's why I would go with Kyle out of those two, because it's like you can't really stop what Kyle got going on, because he's unfiltered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He won us over with the match at the end of the day.
But a lot of them have, you know what I'm saying? And Kyle's not one of the big guys that they like. So, we'll see.
We will see, man. We will see. Let's move on. Best promo. That's the in-ring promo this year. My choice, I'm a roll with I had a hard time choosing. I'm gonna roll with Pat McAfee's promo in his face-to-face with Adam Cole before Takeover 30. Just going back to his tweet CM Punk had a few weeks ago, he said Pat McAfee is better than everybody else in the company on the mic. And the fact that it showed one of his first like real promos, he went out there, he knocked it out the park, and he put over his match on a big show. And he never really had been in that position before, and he killed it. And that's something that I aspire to be. So kudos to you, Pat McAfee, putting in that work.
I'm gonna shock y'all with this one, because I'm very adamant.
Here we go
about how I don't watch this show. But I'm actually gonna go with MJF and the state of the industry, because this for me was
that was my second choice.
This for me was what cemented him as the biggest heel on the show. You know what I'm saying? I grown tired of Moxley as the champ already. MJF was already a great talker, but this one was just believable. Like, you felt what he was talking about on this one. I mean, obviously, the whole the presidential gimmick of it, given it was around, I think it was around November or something like that, or late October. But it's like you could really tell he was digging into that. That didn't seem like it was scripted or nothing like that. He was just throwing that with his heart. And it's like that was the epitome of a heel promo at the end of the day. I was really convinced that he was going to win the title, and I was hoping that he was going to win the title. And then he followed up with a great match. So, I mean, when you put those two together, it's like, shit. This was lighting the match to a fire.
Who you got, Malik?
For mine is from the same company, but it's not MJF. My favorite one, my personal favorite, is the Eddie Kingston. Him and Mox. Yeah. What's that? Yeah. Him and Mox. Just because it was real. Like, wrestling is, we all know it's wrestling. So when something that's real and something like that, I just loved it. It was real. That's all I can say. It was real. You could tell, like, Eddie Kingston has been chasing a dream for ever. And it's like, I'm finally getting my chance. I'm not letting nothing get in the way of this. So, yeah. And Eddie Kingston is another one to look out for in 2021.
Facts.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Big shout out to Eddie
Great.
Kingston, man.
I wanted him to beat Mox too.
I did too. I thought, I didn't care if it didn't matter. I think that's something AEW should do, in the future to kind of really set themselves apart. Make it seem like, more realistic. You look in like UFC and boxing, as any given fight, somebody could lose, no matter who they are.
To me, I feel like that's for everybody. Like, if we have
Wrestling
guys,
barely does that.
yeah.
Like the last time they did it was Leon Ruff.
Advantage.
Yeah, like we got it with Leon Ruff not too long ago. You remember the last time it happened before that?
No, I do not.
I think they should do it more often. It happens a lot in the UFC, happens a lot in boxing.
Yes. I mean, honestly, like I would, you would let people know about their past. Let them, hey, you remember when we was in this promotion and you did this? Well, this is why I'm doing it. Like something, just because as fans of wrestling, we already know this.
Right.
So trying to keep it in the back and like, well, we're not going to mention this company, just not to mention it. It doesn't make it any better. Like we're still going to know it. We're still going to say it. You're really not hiding nothing besides people who don't watch the product already, which I'm hoping in 2021 they get away from panning to that crowd. Like,
yeah.
As you can see today, like you were talking about earlier, like you were talking about earlier with the people with the AEW crowd tweeting about Chris Jericho. It was like, oh yeah, because these are people who don't watch wrestling anymore. But they were still funny. But it's like you know what I mean? Like that's the people who most wrestling was pandering to, is people who don't even watch this no more.
Yeah,
that's why it's so many complaints and people are stupid. But we can keep it moving.
I can't. Best moment of the year. Probably. I don't know where y'all heads are at. But
I'm going first. I gotta go first.
For me, it's a no-brainer.
I gotta go first.
Go ahead,
please.
Can I introduce mine and you go after me? Because
man, but this one is near and dear to my heart. I cried at this moment. That's why I want to go first.
I feel like we all might have the same moment.
I'm sure we do.
Does it have to involve with that banner behind you? Someone on the day of that banner?
Yes.
Yeah.
What about you? Yeah. Is it the same one?
Yeah, you already know.
Go ahead, TC. Introduce.
It's unanimous.
It's unanimous. You think you know me? Edge returning at the Royal Rumble. Listen. I've said before on this show how the WWE on Fox Twitter page spoiled it like 10 seconds before it happened on my TV. They spoiled his return, and it just made me feel good. It was kind of like I wasn't really into the show at all at that point. Like that was the main event of the show, of the Royal Rumble. I wasn't really into it because we know some stuff that happened earlier that day. Not gonna get into that.
Go ahead and say it. We all know.
Kobe, his daughter. We lost the GOAT on that day. So I was. Everybody was kind of out of it.
We were down. We were bummed.
We were down. Like I turned on the show on the pre-show. I couldn't really get into it. Like I didn't really care about the women's rumble that much. It was just.
I wanted Shayna to win.
Watching Brock Lesnar's whole shtick that he did the whole time he was in the rumble, it was fun, and I started to kind of pick up a little pick me up at that point, and then he got eliminated. It was a little bit of energy in the building.
Yeah.
Who's the next person that come out after Brock get eliminated? Edge. And I just jumped out of my seat, man.
And remember, Brock was putting on a show.
He was.
Brock was putting on a show.
It's one of the better rumbles. It's one of the better rumbles we've ever seen because it was
a really good rumble.
It was like a tale of three different rumbles. Like Brock had the first segment, then Drew comes in, pops everybody, and then Edge shows up towards like the back half of it, and that leads into the end.
Big facts.
Yeah.
Fact.
That that whole day was a mess. Yeah, like just like TC, I was down. I was watching. I was happy we had some wrestling, watching it, and fortunately, nobody spoiled it for me. And so, when I hear
But
you
my
think you,
second choice was very genuine. I did not
dang,
get spoiled. My second choice was MVP returning in the same
yes,
match.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
they played that. They played that to the chest. Nobody knew about that.
and plus, we
That one popped me for
just
real.
had seen him too. We just had seen him in
We
person.
we literally just seen him perform in a warehouse in front of like 60 people the month
Went from a
before.
warehouse to a stadium. That's amazing.
He the GOAT.
Yeah, and Edge is the reason why I've unfollowed all wrestling like dirt sheets, because like actually being surprised for a wrestling moment felt amazing compared to like really thinking it's gonna happen. Maybe it will, being upset that some stuff don't happen, but like I genuinely did not know he was there. You know what I mean? Like when did Edge retire? 2011.
2011.
Yeah, April.
Kobe last championship was in what, 2010?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've had all this time without Edge. Kobe passes away. We get Edge back. An amazing return. This is before Corona. Well, it was going on, but like we weren't shut down.
It
We was
wasn't a
open.
panty.
Man, what a time to be man. Yo,
Shout out to the
thank
GOAT
you,
Edge.
thank you, Edge. Rest in peace, Kobe.
You know, it's kind of dope too. Edge has had 2 matches only, regular matches outside of the Rumble since he came back, and he won 2 Slammies at the Slammy Awards.
Hey, when you Edge,
Go.
you can do that. Yes,
Got
sir.
to.
Big GOAT.
Got to, man. Let me tell you something. Oh, I cannot forget, because my cousin was the first person that put me on about Kobe, and I thought it was a joke. I thought somebody was just like making up one of them fake articles. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And then an hour goes by, I start to see it on the news, and I'm just like, I went numb. Like I didn't have no type of
I powered
emotion
my
on my
phone
face. Oh my god, I didn't have no type of
Turn my
emotion
phone
on
off
my
and
face.
just watch wrestling, man. Because I seen when I first seen it, it was somebody just tweeted the link out, just the link itself, nothing else. And so like I thought it was a fake link, and I was like, man, I don't got time for this shit. I logged off. I logged off everything because I was like, what if it is real though? I don't want to know. So I just like kind of hid away from it a little bit, and I just was like, took a deep breath, turned my phone back on, faced the music. That's when I found out his daughter was with him, and I just like,
God.
yeah, it was all bad. But
Like the whole day, like it was just emotion, just was like just drained out of my face. I did not. I was at work, and I'm just like I'm not in today at all. Like I was not there, and
big
like
shout out
I'm
to the
like,
WWE for making that shit a little bit better for us.
oh my
For
god,
real.
when it was started, I'm like,
They
yo,
knew they had a job to do, and they did it.
right.
Crazy thing about that is like I've been watching Edge and Kobe all my life, literally.
Exactly.
I was born in '96. You know what I mean? I was
That boy
born
young.
right before the Attitude Era, and the only things I remember as a
That's why
child
Malik
is
barely
stuff.
got no facial hair. He was born in '96.
I don't be cutting this, bro. I don't be cutting this, man. I don't want all that, man. Y'all got too much stuff to do. Anyway, but the few things I do remember of my childhood, it was mostly wrestling and basketball. And fortunately, Kobe and Edge were both a part of that. So,
Yeah,
yes.
man. So it's like once the Rumble started, I was like, just let something good happen. And I told y'all this before. Like I kind of knew Edge was coming back. Well, I did know Edge was coming back because there was 2 things that happened. First, SummerSlam, he shows up on, I think it was the pre-show with Elias, and he actually hit a spear. And immediately in my mind, I'm like, listen, if they let him do a spear,
I ain't think nothing
what
of
the
it. I
hell
thought
else?
it was just, it was this little spear,
Yeah, well, it was a
Like
toss
the
up. It was
Bret
like
Hart
maybe,
thing where he
yeah,
can only do offense.
Yeah.
yeah. It was like, okay, maybe that's his last one or whatever. But I just started thinking, what if? You know what I'm saying?
Because
And
I thought it
then
was just like to pop his hometown crowd. I legit did not think nothing of it. And then you start seeing, like, hearing all these rumors and everything. He denies them. Usually,
of course,
people just don't address him.
Yeah.
But it was like, just stop. I'm not coming back. He's just outright denying it. Something like,
It wasn't
I-
like Daniel Bryan, who was like, yo, rather they let me wrestle or not, I'm wrestling somewhere.
Yeah. I wanted to take his word for it, but I'm like, I don't know, man. And then I think it was about a month before the Rumble, because I thought, like, if there was ever a time for him to come back, it was like, what if he shows up at the Rumble? I see that he signs a new contract, which he wanted to deny that too. Like, okay, I didn't resign. I didn't get cleared by doctors. I'm like, wait a minute. Everybody can't be lying here. Something going on that he ain't talking about. So I had it in my mind. I'm like, you know what? If he shows up at the Rumble, I won't be surprised. So I held out hope. And it wasn't like I was completely shocked, but it's at the same time, it's like, regardless of that, it's just that him be actually showing up and you seeing it happen for real. It's like that, on top of the fact that, that was the day Kobe, we lost Kobe. I'm just like, yeah, oh my God. That's a chill inducing moment. Like there was no way to explain that feeling when you see him come out and everything like that. And the crowd pops because most of them had no idea. It's like, that's one of the things, right? Even if you knew it was coming, you still get up for it because, damn, if there was ever something like this that we needed on this day, that was
the hug. That was the hug we all needed.
Oh my God, that turned the night around for me. I'm like, okay, now I can go to sleep on a better note. So that's I can't find a bigger moment than that. And it started off the year
because we spent the most time talking about it.
Exactly. Appreciate you, WWE. Let's move on, man. Best pay-per-view of the year. There's plenty of choices. We had, about 12 to 13 from WWE, maybe 14, I don't know. 4 from AEW, 3 or 4 from Impact. What was the best pay-per-view of the year? I watched most of them. My choice, and maybe it's recency bias. Maybe it was just the best pay-per-view of the year, but TLC I thought was very solid. It was, only 6 matches, and they made the most out of every single one of them. That's my choice. What about y'all?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to. Like, out of these choices, I went back and I looked over them all. And I'm like, some of them are decent. One was pretty good, but if I'm thinking about the ones from start to finish that, we said it, on the last episode, like the one that just had all hits, no misses when we did the recap, it was definitely TLC. Like everything, all the time got maximized. It wasn't too much over. It wasn't a long running show like they usually do. It's just, that's one of the few times I could say I was invested in every match that was on, at least to some degree. And that's
it was like a main roster takeover.
Yeah, basically, like it was no knock on the rest of the shows, but it was just like this one from start to finish, I say hit. You know what I'm saying? And then you top it off with Randy committing murders on TV and shit. But I mean that was consistency. That's what I need out of my wrestling pay-per-view. So off the strength of that alone, I got to give it to it.
Agreed.
Same. Only one I would, come in a close second to. I really enjoyed Slammiversary. Like
I like Slammiversary. That was a good show.
I didn't watch Impact. I haven't watched Impact for years, but I really enjoyed Slammiversary. I want to say that's when Chris Bay he won a title. Motor City Machine Guns, they won the tag team titles.
Yana Peraza won a Knockouts title.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah. So, but TLC, like you said, it was a main roster takeover. WWE, keep it up.
Yeah.
Facts. Hey, so kind of staying with that, what was the best takeover of the year?
Ooh.
This includes the one NXT UK takeover as well.
This was probably the hardest one, honestly.
It was. But I actually changed mine at the last second. And my choice is In Your House. I thought In Your House was solid. Keith Lee, Johnny Gargano, very, very good. Even Adam Cole retaining his NXT championship in a parking lot brawl. The main event, we had a triple threat match for the women's championship. You know, you got to have Charlotte main event, and Io Shirai ended up winning the belt. Very, very good match. I think one of the more underrated matches this year. I don't think people talk about that match that often.
They don't, and it's a damn shame.
It's very good.
It came down to the wire, but I had to go with Portland. Mainly, I mean, not just because it was the last one with fans, but it just there was just so many on that just hit. You started off with Dijak and Keith Lee in a North American title match. They had so many matches that it's like, listen, I was starting to get a little.
Was that Finn and Adam Cole on that card?
Remember Dijak?
No, that was Finn and Johnny.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
So I'm just like, yeah, that Keith Lee and Dijak, because I gotten to that point. They had so many matches. I'm like, man, how you gonna, spruce it up this time? And they did it. So it was like, okay,
yeah,
keep it going.
I'm looking at the card right now. Yeah.
And then that main event with Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa, and the Johnny turn at the end, like, bro, that hit. That really hit, and it was tough. I had it close with a lot of the rest of them on this list, but I got to give it to Portland, most definitely.
So can I do one thing? Since it's not the end of the year yet, okay, I chose two people.
We got a week left.
The earlier ones. Can we do a poll on our IG? You could do Keith and Kyle O'Reilly, because I have to do this again. I'm sorry, I have to do this again. I want our people to choose which one for me, because, like I say, when I look back at Portland, because, all right, here's my first. This was my one I already had. I was gonna say War Games. Why? There was no fillers. It was must see from
War Games.
From start to finish. You had to watch everything. But looking back at this at Portland, it was the same thing. There was there's no fillers here. I'm looking, there's no fillers. You know what I'm saying? So hey, War Games, Portland, hey, y'all choose it, whatever one. I'm not mad. The Broserweights. Remember the Broserweights? That was
that too.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Broserweights.
Yeah.
Damn, COVID ruined the Broserweights for us.
Nice.
Never get it back.
That was it.
So this next one, it's coming deep from my heart. I've unofficially granted this award to the recipient of this award on the show in the past, not too long ago. Our version of the Warrior Award goes to Booyaka 619. Rey Mysterio, you are the worst father of the year in professional wrestling, and I want you to take this award, sir. And I want you to hang it up on your mantle, hang it up next to, your Louis Vuitton bags that you make your mask out of, hang it up next to your tights, hang it up next to your however many Rey Mysterio masks you have it next to a picture of the San Diego Chargers logo and whatever other teams you rep. And I want you to take this award and I want you to put it next to the picture of your children, because you are the worst father of the year. And I want you to know, every time you look at that picture of your son, who you allowed to get a job on Monday Night Raw and get abused by Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy for weeks, for months, I want you to remember that every time you see that award. I want you to look at that picture and you look at this award, and I want you to look at your daughter and think of how that same man who terrorized your son for months, you allow your daughter to date. I want you to think about that every time you see it, Rey Mysterio. Worst father of the year.
Ray,
congratulations.
Ray told they ass, y'all got to get a job. They joined the family business.
You know what?
You brought your wife and your daughter, who are not contracted. They're not contracted wrestlers. They're not trained wrestlers. And you brought them around your job in a dangerous environment, in a no disqualification match, in a no holds barred match, in a cage match. You brought them around in every possible setting you could think of. and it's dangerous.
You know something? You just talked me into this because for those listening that haven't heard, because I think we said this off air, I had this idea to come up with for future reference, the Young Kings Wrestling Court, and we plan on taking Randy Orton to court for multiple counts of attempted murder, arson,
Battery,
as well as battery,
domestic assault,
all sorts of things. But now I'm
elderly
thinking we might
assault.
have.
Well, we don't know
thinking-
where the Fiend is. So is it murder?
Attempted murder.
First degree.
Attempted murder and
Okay,
arson.
Burn to God law. It's definitely attempted murder.
That's definitely arson.
At least.
So
premeditated.
So now that he done did this rant here, I'm thinking we're gonna add another name to the list. That being Rey Mysterio for gross negligence. So we will have a list of names to bring to Young Kings Wrestling Court.
Hey,
Child abuse.
I'll be your defense attorney, Ray. I'll be Randy's defense attorney. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, man,
they deserved it.
What? Oh no, we bringing the book.
You know,
I'm raining down hellfire on Mr. Mysterio.
Remember when Dominic pulled up for no reason? Like Ray was like, "Bro, I didn't tell you to come." Pops, I'm here. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
How do you respond to that? He bring his whole family to work. How that work out?
But just like women, man. Like I say, they know how to come in and ruin some stuff sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
He brought them backstage.
No offense to our female listeners.
You gonna call his 19-year-old daughter naive on national television? Like, dog, come on, man.
Might as well call her a hoe.
Right. You know our parents' business, man. They be telling everybody business everywhere. So, you know what I mean?
I ain't done with you yet, Rey Mysterio. 2021, I'm gonna be on your ass. Hey, let's move on, man. So every time you got these wrestlers, they can't really, do much for themselves. They need that little bit of extra boost to really get where they need to go. And that's where the best managers come in, and they come in and boost guys up, or they boost the gal up. Who's been the best manager in the field of the year 2020?
1, 2, you hear the clock ticking. Tick,
exactly.
You're about to start. Answer.
We talked about this guy just, not too long ago. Returned at the Royal Rumble and is, pun intended, has been the MVP of the World Wrestling Entertainment.
Oh wait. Can I say one thing? Shout out to the whole No Limit family, Master P. Shout out to my boy Hershey Miller. That's my guy. Shout out to all them, man. It's great news coming.
Shout out to ICDC College.
Great things coming for real. Oh yeah, shout out to I just seen Romeo not too long ago. Shout out to Romeo.
Romeo, bounce with me. Left to the right, right to the left to the right.
I'm so ICDC.
College.
That commercial lasted for like a month.
Shout out to Silk the Shocker. You know what I'm saying? Yo, they kids can hoop, bro. Like what I mean, they can hoop.
Romeo got recruited with DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah. But I think his little brother is going way farther than he did. No disrespect, but they're going places.
Ain't that far? He didn't get off the bench.
Yeah.
Offense, Romeo.
Yeah. But shout out to them. But continue. I'm sorry, my bad.
Best manager, MVP.
Not bad. I would say so too.
Hurt Business. They out there doing anything, real icy photo. Y'all see that picture they posted on Monday night?
Yeah.
Icy.
Black Excellence.
No.
YK
Wrestling
got to remake that.
We do indeed.
I'll sit down though, because I'm him.
You just do the talking, we do the work.
I would most definitely.
I don't do no work.
That's funny.
I would most definitely agree with this list if and only if it didn't involve Paul Heyman. It's not even fair. I can't not pick this. This dude started the year with the WWE champion in Brock Lesnar. He's ending the year with the Universal Champion in Roman Reigns and the most over heel on television, the most compelling figure on TV right now, in the best storyline, on the best show. And I mean, he never misses on the mic. He cuts the best promos. I mean, It's not fair. It's not fair. If Paul wasn't on this list, I'm going MVP too. But Paul Heyman is like, it's how can you not pick that?
I
There's no
agree.
way.
I agree. Only thing, Reek, is right now his client is outshadowing him right now.
Oh yeah.
And MVP, the three guys he brought back, like he revived careers with this group. With
Shelton
Cedric,
Benjamin got a championship in
Shelton
2020.
Benjamin.
Facts.
I'm still kind of mad Bobby Lashley's not in this title picture, but that's okay for right now. You know what I'm saying? I like what they're
For right
doing
now,
with
it's
it right
cool.
now.
It's cool for
But
right now.
I eventually want to see him hold that title while being in the Hurt Business. But like I said, I'm not mad at Paul Heyman. Like what you just said right there is I didn't even think of it like that at all. So with you saying that is an amazing point. Only reason why I would give MVP that heads up is because it's like, you know, you picking guys out the dirt, out the mud,
Right.
and putting them on this pedestal and making them relevant again.
Yeah. It's Black Evolution. That's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
sir.
If it wasn't for Paul, I'm definitely going right with y'all on MVP. It's just like,
But
damn.
I didn't even think of it like that with Paul.
Because when you thought Paul was gone, and you thought, Brock didn't resign, so you're thinking Paul is going to be out, and then all of a sudden he shows up when Roman comes back with him, and now they done put on some of the best TV we've seen all year.
Yeah.
It's like,
I gotta give a shout out to Don too, even though he's not really needed, but Don, like when we figured out that Impact in
Don
AEW,
Callis.
yeah, that AEW collab, it's like, okay, cool. Like where is wrestling going now? And then I'm hearing like, oh, WWE is open to that idea. That's the thing that I love about having another company like AEW around, where they collab, or let's collab with somebody too. Like it's bettering the world of wrestling, let alone than just like having one person standing there. So let me give that big ups to Don too, Don Callis.
That's your pick?
No, my pick was MVP.
Okay. Shout out to Don Callis though, and also, you know, big shout out to my guy Malcolm Bivens.
And it's too soon for Don. Like this just happened.
Yeah, it just happened like literally this month. Yeah. Big shout out to my guy Malcolm Bivens too, man. He out here grinding.
Yes, sir.
You know, them FUBU endorsement checks is running slim. You gotta get it out the mud, get it how you live.
Yes, sir.
Best tag team, man. I'm gonna go with, you know, the only tag team in wrestling to not only be tag team champions, but for both members of the team to be world champions at the same time.
Is this unanimous, Reek?
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Golden role models.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Just, you know, I just said it. That's all I gotta say. They held world championships as tag team champions. Who else did that besides them? Don't worry, I'll wait. I'm gonna be waiting forever, and I don't got that time right now.
But I got a different reason. Like they could have stayed just tag team champions. They were the stars of the show the entire summer. Truthfully, like Drew,
exactly.
We weren't sure what was going on with Drew. You know, it was kind of the heat was starting to die down a little bit. Nobody gave a damn about Braun and his Universal title run. You know, the mid card scene was skittish. It's like they had to be the stars of the show, and across all three brands, they went to NXT, Great American Bash. They defended. They went and defended the tag team titles on NXT too.
Becky left.
Right, Becky was gone. Charlotte was gone. They had to hold it down.
They put the company on their back.
Yeah, they were it.
Hey, come over here on the back. No, we got you. We'll carry y'all. That's what they did.
All three shows.
They said they were taking over the show. They took it over.
And no disrespect to none of the other champions, you know, the other teams. You know, like I said, only other people I would
Street
think.
Profits was my honorable mention.
Profits.
Undefeated champions in 2020.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like you guys know I'm a Young Bucks fan, but this year it wasn't it for them. Even though I know they doing double duty, but it wasn't it. FTR, Undisputed Era, they was, you know, up and down. They had their thing.
I had the North on my list too.
Yeah, I really didn't pay attention to them, but I heard they killed it this year. So
They were year-long champs in TNA.
yeah, I gotta check
Yeah,
them
that's
out.
right.
You
That's
gotta
right.
have year-long champ on your list, man. Yeah.
I just started back watching TNA, so I didn't know. Kenny and Hangman, like that was just their thing. It lasted way too long, but the
Yeah.
Golden Role Models, like I say, that was it. They put the company on their back as like we've never seen this done before. Women actually put the like
They were
all the women wrestlers this year has been amazing. I'm not.
they were your
Let's just
main eventers.
Facts.
They were the main eventers
this was their year.
for an extended period of time this year. They were the main eventers.
Yeah.
They did the damn thing.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right, let's get into these matches, man. It's so many matches to choose from. It's kind of overwhelming to choose, but we're gonna kick it off. I wanted to give this a separate category because I feel like when we talk about matches of the year, we don't show a lot of love to the matches that occurred on regular television. So TV match of the year, man, the best TV match of 2020. I had a hard time choosing. I was, thinking Sasha Banks and Io Shirai at the Great American Bash. I also liked Walter versus Ilya Dragunov on NXT UK. My honorable mention that I had, number 2, was Kaylee Ray versus Piper Niven in a Falls Count Anywhere match on NXT UK. That's not my final choice. My final choice, man, these 4 you're not gonna get a bad match out of. The Lucha Brothers versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega on Dynamite for the AEW Tag Team Championships. That's my choice.
I like that choice.
So I got my honorable mention is definitely gonna go to Pete Dunne and Kyle O'Reilly in the ladder match, because goddamn, that man Kyle O'Reilly has no regard for his body. He's just gonna do whatever the hell.
That last bump he took was crazy.
God, like, bro, you was just out after that match with Finn. You trying to take yourself out all the way over again. You know what I'm saying? And Pete Dunne too. I mean, they don't have bad matches, but the one that did it for me, Walter and Dragunov, because they look like they was legit killing each other. They like there was not a second where that looked like a work wrestling match. That looked like these dudes were getting in there to legit murder each other. I mean, them slaps and chops from Walter, the chain wrestling, like the holds, everything looked crisp, man. It looked real. Like if you were showing someone from the outside a wrestling match and said, without all the theatrics, like, okay, show them that this is wrestling right here, they would walk away like, holy shit, this is insane. Because there was no bells and whistles to that. These were just 2 dudes that got down and knocked the shit out of each other for, what was it, like 30 minutes?
Yeah.
It was wild. So, like, you forget the title was on the line in this match, because it was just like, yo, y'all out there, like, y'all got a personal beef or something. So that's it for me. Yeah. His chest after the match, bro. Like,
great.
Oh,
the same. I'm going with the same match. Only other 2 matches on here that I'm looking at that I would say for my personal favorites were Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, the ladder match, and Timothy Thatcher and Matt Riddle, that fight pit. We need some more fight pit matches. We need
January 6th. We getting
about
one.
to get one.
Oh, for real?
Hey, and they tapped in, Reek. They listening. Because didn't I suggest that? Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, God. Look,
we've been saying that. We've been saying that for how long now?
A few weeks.
Bro, this should have been the Raw Underground thing. Oh my God. Anyway,
it's okay. It's okay.
Hey, they need to bring Raw Underground back too.
You don't get it. Just tell Thatcher to get a mouth guard this time, because
this is why I be frustrated, man. I be having gold. This is gold.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Cut the check,
you don't
Vince.
need no Matt, man. You don't need no Matt, bro.
For the last time in 2020, cut the check, Vince. You're stealing all our ideas. Triple H, you're stealing all our ideas. Whoever in NXT is tapped into the Young Kings Wrestling podcast, whoever in World Wrestling Entertainment is tapped in.
Really?
Whoever in AEW is tapped in, because somebody in there tapped in too.
Yep.
Exactly.
Cut a check.
What if it's the
Pirates.
same person for everybody?
We're gonna stop
That'd be
saying
wild.
this shit. We're gonna start saying this shit when we on the show. We're gonna say this shit off air. Like,
But yeah,
y'all
like I
gotta-
said, I loved every bit of the Fight Pit match is
It was
because
fun.
Matt Riddle, that's his background. You
Yep.
know, the MMA, Timothy Thatcher, that's just his style of wrestling. I really want to see Walter and Dragunov. I would love to see them in that.
Boy.
Ciampa Riddle, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, Finn Balor. I wouldn't mind seeing him in that. Yes, we need more of these. Make this a yearly thing.
Multiple times a year. We need it.
Yeah, multiple. I don't mind. Just come on.
Hey, so we got our best TV match, but what was the best match in general of 2020? For the men, we're gonna start off with the men. This is the one I said, Reek, before we went on air. I had to choose. I had two choices, and I'm having a hard time. I'm a grown ass man. I'm 28 years old. I've been watching wrestling since I was 6. It's a long time.
Mhm.
Out of those 22 years, December 2020 at Final Resolution was the first time I saw two black men face each other for a world championship in the main event. And so I considered Chris Bay and Rich Swann being match of the year just off of that alone. But the match I'm actually going to give it to, we just talked about it when we were discussing our best moment of the year. The Men's Royal Rumble, I think, was a match of the year. I think, it did everything it needed to do. It told an amazing story in multiple parts, as my guy Reek had mentioned. You had the Brock story starting it off. The Brock story ends, and it kind of turns into a little bit more competitive match. You get the return of Edge invoked. It was just very invoking the entire time. I really loved it. That's my match of the year for the fellas.
So I'm at a tie break right now. I gotta break this tie because Randy Orton and Edge is like the first one that comes to mind. But then I look,
The greatest wrestling match ever.
They got me. They got and that's why it was the first match that came to mind, because like I was so angry. Y'all know, because I was bitching about it every single week. It's like,
this is the greatest show.
That tagline was killing me, and then they went out and they put on a damn symphony of wrestling. I can't knock it. It was beautiful. But then I look on the rest of this list here, and then I remember Gargano versus Finn Balor. That was phenomenal. That match could main event Mania if you let them. So I'm like, oh my God.
What's your favorite takeover?
It
is. If you let it.
It's like, as much as I want to give it to Orton and Edge off the strength of what they did in the middle of the pandemic, but damn, Gargano, Finn Balor at Takeover, wasn't no titles on the line, just two dudes showing. I think it was like the middle of the card, stole the damn show. Like, I gotta give it to them, man. I gotta give it to them.
Well, my favorite match, said this here before, has to be Sami Zayn, Jeff Hardy, AJ Styles, the ladder match at Clash of Champions. That match was
fire.
Everything to me. Like that, seeing Jeff, like, as much as I hate seeing Jeff still doing the things he do, I love it also. Then you add my other Jeff Hardy, Mr. AJ Styles. You add another person like Sami Zayn, who has not been in my opinion, utilized like he was supposed to since he been in the main roster. To see him in a great match like that, to see Jeff still being Jeff, seeing AJ still being AJ. That's my match of the year. You let us know what your match of the year is.
Yeah.
You muted yourself. DC.
My bad. Tune in. Tune in. You know, and then let us know. Hashtag YK Wrestling. What you think the best match of the year is?
Fact.
Yeah.
For the women, what's the best match for the women?
I'll be right back.
Indeed.
All right.
Best match for the women.
Oh.
You know, I had some choices to choose from for real. I had I really liked drawing a blank, Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. I thought that was great. You know, the match they had for the NWA championship. I bring up Kaylee Ray, Piper Niven a lot on here. Women's War Games was fire. I even like Sheeta versus Nyla Rose at Double or Nothing, where Sheeta won the championship. And I think Becky Lynch has been gone so long. I think people forgot that she was wrestling this year, and her Oscar put on a banger.
They did.
But all these matches that the ladies put on in 2020, only one really stood out to me. Sasha Banks versus Bayley, Hell in a Cell. Besides the obvious reason, because Sasha, it's boss time. This match is just they went all out. Every women's Hell in a Cell match just gets better and better, and this one stood above the rest of them.
That's a fact. So I was leaning towards that. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then there's Io Shirai, Charlotte, and Rhea. It's tough to choose, but I thought back to this one in particular, and the circumstances around it was really what did it for me, because this is the first WrestleMania that really didn't, it's been the pandemic, everything got messed up, so it's like all the energy is kind of sucked out of it. So the expectation was just, there was so much that you had to put on the shoulders of these two women. And for them to go out on day 2, start the show off with a banger, and, first time ever you see the NXT women's title defended on WrestleMania. They showed out, Rhea and Charlotte. Obviously, Charlotte had to go over. They had to give her the championship. They didn't need to do that, but still, the match was great, considering the circumstances and everything like that. You had not a single person in the crowd, but it was like that didn't even harm it the slightest bit. Like, they really tore it up. Rhea, her WrestleMania debut, this was great for two women who we've never seen wrestle before. Had some damn good chemistry, and then they took it a step further at Takeover in Your House, but the first one, this one right here, this really did it. Absolutely.
Mr. Riggs.
Okay. We mentioned this match earlier. Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven. The fact
Which
is,
one?
What was the one they had? Was it the street fight?
Falls Count Anywhere?
Or was it Falls Count Anywhere? The fact that I don't watch NXT UK, not because I don't want to, it's just simply I don't know when it comes on. But
Thursdays
that day,
at noon.
I caught it that day. I was just so happened to be on the website, caught it, and for me not to even know what is going on, no story, no backstory, no nothing to this, and feel like I know everything after that one match, and it was such an amazing and fun match that I was like, yeah, I love this. But like I say, the women did their thing all year. Sasha and Bayley, those are to be the superstars of the year. Like, you have to give them co. I'm sorry. I know we have that question.
We'll cross
later.
that bridge when we come to it.
I was gonna say that, but I just cannot not say that. I mean, they're Hall of Famers already. Can we say that?
It was Hall of Famers 5 years ago.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
yeah, but yeah, we go to the next one because I want to
agree.
wait to say.
I agree. All right. So we coming up on our final 2 awards. Let's just waste no time here. Best men's wrestler. That's on my list. I had we got our WWE guys, AEW guys. I got some New Japan fellas in it. But I came down. I had to narrow it down to 5 out of however many men's wrestlers there are, and so I'm just give you my 5 here. Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton really had a career year in 2020. The most refreshed and the most focused that Randy Orton has been in a while. I can't even tell you since 2013 maybe was the last time. He did his thing, won a WWE title, had some really good matches with Edge, including the greatest wrestling match ever. But I'm not gonna choose him. John Moxley was also on my list. I think, him being the top guy in AEW, he did his thing during the pandemic. He helped keep them afloat. But, something was missing from him that I didn't really think that I didn't see, that a lot of people apparently did see. So if you can kind of tell me what that is exactly, I would appreciate it. Kenny Omega also was on my list, but I think he spent a lot of time in the tag division, and I can't with good faith give him this award right now. But I will tell you, the way it's looking, he might have it for 2021. So we'll see in a year time. Me saying this exactly, but I since Kenny Omega, turned heel and he won the title, he's been appearing on Impact. He's actually been interesting to me for the first time ever. I'm interested in Kenny Omega.
What a heel turn can do.
Yes. Happened with Johnny Gargano as well.
Happened with you and Bailey.
Happened with Bailey. Happened with Sami Zayn. So maybe people should learn how to book baby faces a little bit better. That way I can cheer them people. Because baby faces I like, they good. The ones I don't like is just something they missing, and when they turn heel, it's just magically 10 times better. I don't know what it is. And my choice is who I wanted to give it to, because this guy, he came back at SummerSlam, and since he's been back, he hasn't had a bad match on pay-per-view. Matches that he's been a part of from bell to bell, at least. You know what happened when he won the title? He just showed up in the last 5 minutes of the match. Because the head of the table can do that. I was gonna give Roman Reigns. That was my choice until I saw a tweet from Roman Reigns earlier today, this morning when I woke up. I saw a tweet. Somebody said, "How did Roman Reigns not win any Slammy awards?" Roman Reigns decided to reply with, "When you're the highest paid / most decorated star in the business, you don't need participation awards. So in that case, sounds like you don't need my award for Wrestler of the Year. So instead, I'm going to give it to Drew McIntyre." Drew McIntyre, the same thing with John, same thing as John Moxley. He held down the company for literally the entire pandemic. Stuff shut down. He became champion 2 weeks later. He did the thing. I watched him on the Broken Skull sessions, and he talked about how he was doing a promo spot for WrestleMania in the UK, somewhere in Scotland, from where he's from. He was doing a promo spot, and they called him, said, "We got to get you back to America because they're about to shut shit down." So Drew McIntyre takes the initiative to gather everybody up, make sure that commercial is filmed and put out. He took the initiative to really just put himself over to the best of his abilities. He's held it down. His very first world championship run is very unique. And he stood out amongst the rest. Very great matches. I think he's one of the best babyface champions WWE has had since John Cena.
I think one thing with Drew is like the people love him as much as WWE does too.
Yeah.
Like I think Drew being released
Leftover
the first
lasagna.
Drew being released the first time was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Yep.
After he went around and
He got
traveled the
hungry.
world and went crazy, had crazy great matches, just to come back and do what he has done. Yes, Mr. Drew McIntyre. But that is not my wrestler of the year. Once again, I'm gonna let my folks vote on these. First I have to go with Mr. Randy Orton. This was Randy Orton's year. When wrestling needed him the most, he showed up, and as my auntie say, showed out. This man put on great match after match with from him and Edge and the Fiend, and it was just like he's been chilling all these years, and then it was like, oh wait, y'all need me? All right, cool. I'm gonna just step up. Like he has been great all year. Number 2,
A lot of people call him the greatest wrestler alive.
not mad at that.
And it's like when you all things considered,
Not
he
mad at
might
that.
be the greatest wrestler alive.
Not mad at that. Not at all.
Like
From
all
everything.
things considered.
Everything. All around. Yes. Not mad at that. My number 2 is Mr. Johnny Gargano. How the way he became, like I said, what a heel turn can do.
This Gargano way stuff is funny as hell. I love it.
Yep.
And he's still putting on great matches. You know what I mean? Where it's like his great matches, he's still putting them on. He's a new character. He put his wife on. His wife overshadowed him for a while. He went back. It's just been a great year for him too.
And he gets the best Christmas gifts.
I truly never
Right.
want him to go to the main roster. I'm sorry. I'm selfish.
You imagine getting a PS5 box for Christmas from Johnny Gargano? I don't think Malik watched NXT this week yet.
I did.
I don't think he get the reference. Did you?
Oh wait, no, I did. I've seen a little bit. I didn't see his part, but I'm assuming it's an empty box.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
PS5 box, yeah. From a Johnny Gargano now, yeah,
You gotta watch it to really understand it. So
yeah,
check it out. What about you, Reek?
yeah. Those my 2.
So nothing but respect to everybody on this list, but I don't even need to count them out. It's y'all mentioned it already. It's Orton, hands down. Because name a point in time this year where we weren't talking about the man. You know, starting off the year, I think he was in the final 4 of the Rumble, along with Edge. He has his rivalry with Edge, the greatest match. And it's like from that point forward, it just jump started a whole different level.
Matches with Drew, the ambulance match.
Had these great matches with Drew. He won his 14th world title. And people forget this, he put over Keith Lee in his pay-per-view debut. So he went back and then did this dude a favor and then went right back to the WWE title matches with Drew, won another title. You know what I'm saying? And then he ends the year barbecuing a nigga on national television. I mean, he's hit.
Wrestler of the year, but you still going to court.
Level. Oh yeah.
Surprise,
yeah.
motherfucker.
He said barbecue it.
It's like, yo.
Hey.
He got his ass cooked. He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
Yes, sir. Extra crispy.
Yeah,
like, but it's like that's the kind of year it's been. Like the dude has been on fire all year long.
Literally.
Hold on, TC. I love that's my favorite soundbite. That is my favorite one. He got cooked. Shout out to Adrian Broder.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, it was like it was a hit year for Randy. I mean, I think in terms of the longevity of his career, this was the first year he was like on every single month that he was on TV.
Mm-hmm.
So this was great.
It's been a while. All right.
He been chilling. He took the back seat. Now he was just like, "Hey, y'all need me?
Yep.
I'm here.
I'm looking for a nigga. Nigga here now."
Exactly.
All right, let's just close it out, man. Best women's wrestler. I'm gonna just go first because y'all probably know who I'm gonna say. You know,
We already know. We already
he's a
know.
legit boss, but y'all knew that. TC, yeah, I had to do that. Sasha Banks. I mean, kind of my same criteria for best tag team. What other woman in WWE was a triple crown in the same year? I'll wait for an answer other than Sasha Banks. Tick, tick, tick. You can't give one. Nobody else was Raw Women's Champion, Tag Team Champion, or Smackdown Women's Champion in the year 2020. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I really am. I'm just gonna go in a different direction. I'm gonna go with Bailey because I'm gonna tell you something. Everything you just said is correct. Problem is, we expected this from Sasha. In fact, it's about 3-4 years late that Sasha's getting.
Facts.
We expected to see this from Sasha Banks, and it's long overdue about Sasha Banks. What the year that Bailey has had, we never saw that coming, whether as a face or as a heel. You know, we didn't think the heel turn was coming anytime soon. It did. But then, what was the final? 400 plus days as SmackDown Women's Champion?
Wasn't that long. It was like 370.
Three something, but a full year basically. So it's like you have this long reign as champ. You win the women's tag team titles for a second time. You Grand Slam, win the Grand Slam. She's the first to win the Grand Slam.
She did that last year.
Yeah. So it's like, yo, as much as I definitely shout out to Sasha because she finally is getting her due, but Bailey, this was not something I ever saw for her at all. So I mean, off the strength of that, it's like shout out to Sasha, absolutely, but Bailey exceeded all expectations this year, and I mean, to talk about stepping out of somebody's shadow, we thought Becky really did it, a year and a half ago. Bailey did her damn thing this year, no question.
Facts. Who you got, Malik?
Once again for the fourth time today, but I think this is for the award itself. I'm going with Bailey and Sasha. Like I said before, they put this company on their back. They went everywhere. They did everything. Real Bailey fans always knew she had this potential. We just been waiting for them to allow it. Sasha, it was like, I don't know. Sasha has always been like we know she gonna be great, so let's just give it to this person for right now, because we always know we got Sasha if we ever really need her. You know what I mean? It was like she was like a Joker card. Like you could just always pull it out, whatever. Yeah. But I want to see what everybody else say. You know what I mean? Because I'm not mad at either one of these two. They held it down for wrestling. All across the board, all companies. I gotta give it to these two. We gonna let everybody else vote it out. Let them argue it out. Let them say what they gotta say. Shout out to Asuka too. I remember when Asuka came to the main roster, we would the whole world was so mad that they weren't doing her just due. But we can say like Asuka has got her full potential and she did amazing this year. Yeah, but Bailey and Sasha, those are my picks.
Another honorable mention on my list, I had Karu Shida as my third after Sasha and Bailey. I mean, 22-1 singles record, women's champion at AEW. She's been holding that division down. Even they've been holding her down a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's still the rose that grew above concrete.
That division no more. Like Kenny's
cut the check, Tony. I can do it.
Exactly.
Facts.
Hey, so before we get out of here, man, real quick, what's some hot takes you guys got for 2021? One of my hot takes, I feel like we only gonna get about 6 days of the Undisputed Era as is in 2021, and something will happen and they will dissipate slowly starting on January 6th.
Yes, sir.
That's my hot take.
Yeah, listen.
I'm sad, but they'll be fine. Yeah, I think they'll be fine.
Oh man, listen. Edge back 2021. Might get a run. Might get a run. That's one thing I've heard over the years, but or over the couple months. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Big E's going on. Listen, Big E's gonna go on the tear. I'm just calling it right now. He's gonna run through this roster. He's gonna make a run. He's gonna make a run at the head of the table. And what he said before about Undisputed Era, I was talking about it when I was on the Smack Raw chat when he was doing the show a little while ago. I think I see the writing on the wall here. I think I see it. Kyle O'Reilly might just beat Finn for the belt, and then Undisputed Era gonna come out and celebrate. And then do him right, Evolution style, when nobody gonna see it coming.
You know what they could add in that too? The rivalry from Ring of Honor.
Facts.
They could use that.
Yeah,
They can.
Yo, you was jealous of me way back when. Cut the check, Vince.
Mm-hmm.
We could write it.
We know y'all listening, so
We
you
have.
might as well. You might as well.
Tapped in. I mean, listening to our show, taking our ideas and not crediting us.
Don't you get tired of this shit?
Yeah,
Because I
forget
do.
the credit. Forget the credit. Cut that check. I don't care.
It's kind of petty the way y'all do it.
We got bills.
Oh, last hot take. Butcher and Blaine gonna get fired by the end of the year. Got to.
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
Facts. My only real take is, man, I'm excited to see what this Impact AEW collab gonna be. NWA too, you know. I hope we get a lot more. I have NXT has to collab with somebody. I don't care who it is. Somebody. Please.
Stardom.
Hell yeah.
And Roman is not gonna lose his title at all next year.
Oh no, he can't.
That wouldn't shock me.
He's not.
Absolutely would not. Hey, man, this has been the Young Kings Wrestling Podcast. If you made it this far, we appreciate you. Happy New Year. This is our final episode of 2020. It's been a long-ass year. Some good wrestling. It's sky's the limit. Plug your socials, y'all.
Wreak Havoc at the Havoc Hour.
Wreak Havoc 24 on Twitter,
Yes, sir.
Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Check out the Havoc Hour wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You can find me at TC Fontaine.
TC.Fontaine.
Yeah, that's what I said. TC.Fontaine.
And, if you want to check me out at Malik.LV on Instagram, 1 or 2 Ks at
Yes,
Ball
sir.
Dogs at YK
Yes, sir.
Wrestling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sirski. And the YK headquarters will be here soon.
Hey.
Yerp.
Sooner than you think. It's on the way.
Sooner than later.
There you go.
Hey,
Yes.
you already know what it is, man. 2020, we are out of here. Gone.
Gone.